Get right into it on how to create abundance with 3D and 5D energy shifts and break free from like lack mindset, right? So we will be discussing how to create your version of abundance, and the topics covered would be how your personality creates your personal reality, what is the personality of abundance, what is the personality of lack, how to create from 3D, and how to create from 5D. Okay, so let's begin. So, your personality creates your personality is the basis of Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, based on which I am making this presentation. And your personality is made up of the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you act. So, when it comes to the thinking, you have 60,000 thoughts per day. So, it's not about monitoring every thought, it's more about what are the patterns in the thought. What are the strong held beliefs you have about yourself and the world? And what are the stories you have about yourself and the world? Then there are the feelings. We all go through ups and downs, but what are the dominant feelings that you have throughout the day? And then finally, how you act. What are your behavior patterns? What are your strategy patterns? So, all of this make up your personality, which eventually show up as your personal reality. So, for example, we are going to, through this whole presentation, we are going to take an example of someone who wants to start an Instagram page for her paintings and start selling her paintings. Like that's her dream, okay, to present in an art gallery. So if she has this personality of unworthiness about my neighbor will think I'm stupid or my paintings are not good enough to charge anyway. So if that is her dominant personality, those will be the thoughts that come up, and guess what action it would lead to? Like she would procrastinate on starting that page forever, or she might start it 2 decades later. As opposed to someone who feels aligned in her personality, who feels that, okay, there are people out there to whose soul my paintings would speak to, and they would be ready to give any amount I charge. She would be out and out there putting out her paintings, telling the price, creatively selling them. You see the difference in what the personality does to your actions. Okay. So the first element is becoming. So we want to become the personality of abundance. So this is the fun part. So you get to study the people you admire in the space that you want to go to. For example, for that painter, she would study successful painters. For a sports person, they would study successful sports person. If you want to start your own business, you would study successful entrepreneurs or the entrepreneurs that you want to emulate, because even within entrepreneurs there are many different kinds, but this is the fun part where you get to choose who you want to model, and you decide and you note what are their personality traits that you want to imbibe, what are their beliefs about themselves and about entrepreneurship, how do they show up in the world. Once you have this data, you decide one and imbibe it, repeat it, remember it, and once that becomes who you are, you move on to the next and next, right? So with the painting example, successful painters have this belief that art has the ability to express emotions, thoughts, and experiences that words cannot adequately convey. So just imagine someone who believes this deeply. They would make sure to show up for their paintings and make show up on the canvas and make their paintings consistently, and also share them, because they know that their personal experiences are not unique, that what they experience, there are people around the world who experience the exact same thing, and by sharing their paintings, they are they are connecting with those people who have those same experiences, and those experiences cannot be conveyed as well through words as through art. Another personality trait of successful painters is they believe in the beauty of the mundane. So they're drawn to the beauty and wonder in everyday objects. So they could be sitting at the bus stop or at the mall, and their mind would be looking through the lens of what's the beauty here. So that's the personality of a successful painter that you could imbibe. about looking at everyday things and everyday situations and finding the beauty in it that you can express on your canvas, right? So overcoming. This is the flip side. We also become need to become conscious of who you do not want to be, the personality of lack. So the more you overcome, the more energy you have to create, and the more you feel worthy of your vision, of your dream. For example, for this painter, if she has the personality of self doubt, she would have those constant feelings of her painting not being good enough, her marketing not being good enough, her price point being too high. All of these thoughts lead to the feeling of self doubt, lead to the action of not showing up consistently, not sharing proudly. Or she could have the fear of failure. What if I try and I do not sell paintings? What if nobody likes it? Or the fear of judgment of being like, XX person will judge me. So these personality traits of self doubt and fear, each time she faces and overcomes one of the self doubt, she has more energy to create her painting and show up in the world. And she feels more and more worthy of achieving her vision. This is why overcoming the personality of lack is so important. So let's now go to creating from the 3D and creating from the 5D. Creating from the 3D, I'm going to go very fast because it's something that we all know, that we have done in our school, that we do it in our jobs. It's to define short term and long term goals based on your vision, then get the resources you need, acquire the skills you need, try and learn from your mistakes, and have a daily to do list based on your goals. Okay, so you define your goals. The only warning that I have here is do not skip this system when you are in the creation or manifestation or 5D space, because a lot of people, including myself, skip this step and then we feel lost and ungrounded. Why this 3D creation is important? Because it makes you acquire the skills and resources you need to become successful and also to handle your success. It helps in making consistent choices in line with vision on a daily basis. And the to do list helps you stay on purpose and not get distracted, right? So now we will move to creating from 5D. This is the magic element, and we need this part. And I'll tell you why and I'll show you why. Okay. So, why we create? Because, for example, for this painter, she has this dream of presenting at an art gallery in person, and now she's at the place where she has not even started her painting. So that B or that destination feels so far away, and it feels so long, and she feels like this is the long path that she would need to take to that destination, that it feels very demotivating and frustrating, and she gives up even before she starts, or she gives up at any point. But when you create from the 5D, you're open to different routes. You're open to say this route or this route or this route, shorter routes that will help you reach your destination faster, right? So to go in a little to the technicality of it, so in 3D there is separation. So the thought of your vision, and the experience of your vision, there's a separation of time and space in between them. So your thought of your vacation is at this point, but the experience of in vacation is at a point that is very far away. And when you think about your vacation, you think about all the things that you need to do, like you have to sacrifice shopping or dinners, and you have to save money, and you have to take on extra work, and it feels very heavy, right? But when it comes to this 3D separation, it becomes super frustrating. As I said, goals seem very far away. So it leads for you to either giving up, or you try to force or control or manipulate to make it faster and easier, because otherwise it seems so far away and so impossible. But in 5D, all is one. 5D refers to pure consciousness or the oneness where all possibilities exist. It's also called the void or the quantum field. Quantum field is where all possibilities exist as potentials. So, oneness. So, when it comes to oneness, the thought and the experience is one in the quantum field or in the 5D. There is no separation, right? What does this do? The thought of your vision, when you are in that fifth dimensional pure consciousness state, the thought of your vision creates the experience of having it. The thought of your beach vacation creates the experience of being in the beach vacation. There is no separation, there is no the separation in terms of time or distance or energy or work that you need to do. And that, like, we'll come to how to enter the 5D, but what does that do is the impossible feels possible, your dreams feel possible, presenting at that art gallery feels possible. Then you stop forcing, you start aligning, you start listening to your intuition. And as you do that, you start attracting synchronicities, opportunities, and ideas come to you, resources come to you, and you feel peace. You already feel the experience of living the experience, which is why you don't feel the need to force or control or manipulate or give up. That feelings of demotivation and frustration are not there. Instead, there is peace, there is excitement, there is energy, there is optimism. All of this happens because you are also creating from the 5D. So, how to enter the 5D? Through meditation. You have to enter it as pure consciousness. You have to forget about your 3D, anything material, which includes your body, your environment, everything around you. Anything in your 3D material world needs to be forgotten, and you need to connect to that part of you that's pure consciousness. Or you could hold the vision in the state as you go to sleep, because as you go to sleep, you are leaving the material world and entering the 5D space where you see your dreams and your visions. So this is how you enter the 5D. So, in conclusion, to create a life of abundance combining 3D and 5D energy shifts, first is becoming. What personality do you need to become for your vision? Is it seeing beauty in the mundane? Is it believing that expression, like paintings, convey thoughts and experiences much more than words? Is it being more grateful? What personality do you need to become to create your abundance? Overcoming. What personality do you need to overcome? Is it self doubt? Is it fear? Is it unworthiness? Is it probably guilt that if I follow my dreams, I will leave people behind? Or I will, or there is shame that if I pursue my dreams, maybe you've been shamed for thinking big in your childhood or even now. Maybe there's shame. So, what are these emotions and personalities that you need to overcome? Then, creating from the ID, have short term and long term goals, and creating from 5D, experience or keep remembering your vision in meditation or during as you go to sleep. Keep reliving your vision until it feels like it's already happened. Thank you. Subscribe for more videos on breaking free and creating.